Abby walks into crimson lights and spots Amanda seated at a table. She walks over to say, "I heard you were back in town." Amanda points at her wedding ring and congratulates her. Abby says it was a lovely wedding, and she is very lucky. She notes Amanda is working for Dumis. "You've kept busy." Amanda knows she's working for Winters. It's a real family business. Abby asks after her sister. Amanda says Amani is great. Now that they've covered the bases, civility should only go so far. It's not fun being around each other. Abby says it's a good thing she doesn't live in town anymore. That's still true, right? Amanda isn't moving back anytime soon. She just got to DC for her new job and is settling in there. Abby heard that her boss isn't after them, but he is after Chancellor. Amanda won't speculate on Aristotle's intentions. She was sent there to offer assurances, but they all seem suspicious of her motives. Abby says it's hard to trust her. Amanda scoffs. That's rich. She's been nothing but transparent. Abby wants answers, as a member of the Winters board. Amanda taunts about her being a hard worker and dutiful wife. This time around. How's Chance, by the way? Abby tells her she and Devon look after each other. Amanda's sure he appreciates her having his back, but there's no hostile takeover, so you can go and buy yourself a new outfit for the next board meeting. Abby asks why she should believe her. Amanda replies, "Why shouldn't you? I've never betrayed you or Devon." Abby points out she showed up in town representing a man who's been rumored to have his eye on Winters, and she has plenty of reason to dislike her and Devon. Amanda asks if she thinks she'd use her connection to Dumis to take over Devon's company as petty revenge. She informs her that she doesn't resent her happiness with her ex. She, Devon and Dom are the family they always should have been. She's let it go. Abby scoffs. Really? Amanda remembers what it felt like to find them naked on the couch when she was away taking care of her mother, but she didn't come there to rehash old wounds. The best revenge is living a good life. Abby squints. It feels like this grudge she has against her and Devon is more significant than she thinks. Amanda tells her to stop pushing and reveals that Dumis is trying to protect Winters, not take it away. Abby asks, what's in it for him? Amanda reiterates that Dumis admires and respects Lily and Devon. Devon walks in as they spar. Is everything okay here? Abby says they were discussing Amanda's new job and her boss. She says Dumis wants to protect Winters and they have nothing to worry about. Devon's curious why Dumis cares about them and their company one way or another. And why did he send her? What's your mission? Amanda feels they're ganging up on her. Devon insists this isn't about their past, but her shady boss. Amanda tells Devon he has everything. Why can't he just accept it and be happy? Devon thinks there's more going on here. Why did Dumis send her? Why did he hire her? Amanda can't answer that. Who is this guy, Amanda? And what connection does he have to us? Amanda tells Devon his speculation and doubt is unnecessary. Dumis' identity is classified, but they have nothing to fear from him. Devon asks her to prove it. I want to meet with him face to face. He wants a meeting with him, Lily, and Dumis. Amanda says he doesn't do that. Devon won't accept answers from anyone but him. Amanda narrows her eyes. Because my word isn't good enough for you. She was never really enough for him, was she? Devon asks if she's considered that Dumis lied to her. Amanda scoffs. Now the implication is that she's gullible. Devon thinks maybe he misled her about his intentions purposely, assuming they would trust her. Amanda muses, but you don't, do you? Amanda can sense if she's being misled. She's not there to screw the two of them over. Devon thinks it makes sense that he'd think something was going on here given the timing and the coincidences involved. If Dumis admires them so much, why wouldn't he meet with them? And why would he send her? Set the meeting, Amanda. I'm not taking no for an answer. At the club, Lily meets with Damian, who seems pleased. He says his lawyer went over the offer and it's all in order. He's ready to accept it. Damian notes it was generous. Should he attribute that to her? Lily says it should be worth his time. He feels very welcome, and now he gets to see her every day. Consider me your personal secret agent, while I pretend to relay information back to Dumis. Lily hesitates. She's not sure that plan is the best way to proceed. Lily tells Damian that Devon asked him yesterday if he knew Amanda Sinclair. Damian reiterates that he doesn't. They establish that Dumis just hired her as his attorney in the last 6 months. He had her come there to deliver a message that he's not planning to try and take over Winters, and there's nothing to worry about. Damian agrees it seems a little odd. He guesses her words of assurance had the opposite effect on her. Lily says yes, but if what she said was true, there's no need for him to spy for them. If he offers to spy on them for Dumis and he still comes to work for them, it could put Damian in a precarious position. Damian agrees it would be suspicious. He'll know he's loyal to them. You're worried about me, aren't you? Damian thinks there's signs of Lily caring about him. She rolls her eyes and claims her concern is for Nate, though she admits Damian is taking a risk coming to work for them. She wonders if Dumis is trying to give them a false sense of well-being. Damian warns when that man wants something, he does whatever it takes to seal the deal. Lily can't understand the purpose of him sending Amanda to say he admires them and their company. They realize they need to come up with a plan to uncover Dumis' true goal. Damian thinks he's Lily's best shot. She tells him that they know Amanda. I know her very well. Damian asks, is that the real issue here? Lily says Amanda is a part of Devon's past. He wonders if it was a relationship gone wrong. Lily says it was a messy situation, but everyone's moved on. Damian says it seems like she doesn't trust Amanda. Lily says given the history, it's very odd. Damian still thinks her plan is the best shot. They have to see if they can trust Dumis or not. Lily sighs, if you're still up for it, I'll push aside my concerns. Damian will be fine. He teases her again about caring for him. He announces he'll reach out to Dumis and tell him about his new job offer. Damian comes back after speaking to Dumis and relays to Lily that he told her there was no need to play spy inside of Winters. He said it would be a waste of time. Lily frowns. This implies that he doesn't need to know the inner workings of the company. She wonders if he suspected what Damian was up to. Damian asks what this means for his job offer. Lily needs a minute to think. Damian tells her, if you're done with me, just say the word and I'm gone. Lily says the offer stands. I wouldn't do that to you. Damian thanks her. She adds that Nate would kill her if she had it revoked. Damian asks if this is all about his brother. Lily wants Damian to work at Winters. He knows she's still wary, but she cares about his well-being and feelings too. She says, sure, whatever makes you happy. He says this job will make him happy, and people looking out for him will make him happy too. Holden's been the closest thing to a brother to him, but what he and Nate have is different. It's blood. He'll have to be careful that Holden isn't affected by his decisions. If Dumis becomes suspicious of him, that could carry over. Lily thinks Holden is lucky to have him. She knows this could put Damian in a bad spot. Does he really want to piss off this powerful man? Why would you take that chance? Damian knows there could be repercussions for joining Winters. He's going against his boss' wishes. Aristotle took a chance on him when he needed one, but there was always something off with their arrangement. He hired him with no experience in a fake resume. He was willing to take risks and not ask questions. He's ready for a new chapter. Lily warns he could provoke Dumis. Damian is prepared for that. He's ready for a new job and a new life. I want to be here in Genoa City. Closer to his mom, his brother, and to her. You mean something to me. Your opinions, your trust. I want to work for your company, and I'd like to get to know you better. At Society, Audra and Nate talk about him working with his brother. Nate still doesn't like the idea of him spying on Dumis for them. Audra finds it sweet that he worries about him. They banter about her eating his potatoes and say to her taking his dry cleaning in for him. He says it's the kind of thing a girlfriend might do. Audra's also treating him to breakfast and relays that Victor sent the first round of funding through. Nate mutters, so Victor finally ponied up. She asks him not to be like that. He asks what's next. Kyle and Claire appear as she smiles. It's full steam ahead. Nothing can stop me now. Kyle and Claire greet Nate and Audra, and Kyle asks if there's any progress with Vibrant. Claire knows her grandfather came through with her funding. Audra wasn't aware she knew about that. Claire's an insider. Audra wonders if Kyle considers himself an insider by proxy. Kyle wasn't surprised when he found out. It makes no difference to him either way. Claire asks, can you think of a reason why it would? Audra says her partnership with Victor has nothing to do with them. Claire says, good to know. Kyle wishes Audra well, and Nate calls him out. He's wishing her success after all they've been through. Kyle shrugs that it's a big world, lots of room for more cosmetics firms. He credits Claire with changing his outlook. Audra snarks that Claire deserves an award if she changed Kyle's attitude. It's quite the 180. Nate will second that. Kyle says it's because he's happy. Audra says it is quite the attachment and alludes to them as star-crossed lovers. She welcomes the truce and thinks they can support each other. Nate frowns. You two certainly have evolved. Kyle thinks they can put an end to their grudges. Kyle and Claire walk off, and Nate turns to Audra. What the hell was that about? Nate wants to know why Audra was being absurdly nice to Kyle. Audra says they're both in the same industry. Why shouldn't she go along with it? Nate says, you hate the guy. It fuels her. He doesn't buy it for a second that she'd let it go. Victor offered to fund a company for her, which puts her into direct competition with his granddaughter's boyfriend. It's not a coincidence, and Kyle must realize that too. But he's questioning her intentions. Why would you pretend to get along with Kyle all of the sudden? What's the end game? At their table, Kyle asks Claire why she brought up Victor funding Audra. She didn't know it was a secret and points out it must have something to do with him and Jebot. She asks why it bothers him so much that she was upfront with Audra. She questions his fake niceness to Audra and why he talked up her influence on him. You use that to trick Audra into thinking you're fine with her and her company. It's disingenuous. Claire doesn't like Kyle's plan or the way he interacts with Audra. He plays games. Kyle insists he has to stop her and whatever she has planned. Claire says, you mean what my grandfather has planned? She notices Audra really gets under his skin. Kyle isn't threatened by Audra, but she could do some damage. Claire asks, how? What damage could she do? Claire's convinced this is about revenge on Audra. Kyle tells her she's reading too much into this. Claire doesn't think she is. There is a clear power play between them, and it's going to explode. If it is, Kyle, it can't end well. Across the room, Nate tells Audra she's never backed down from a fight. Audra insists that not being a problem protects her. Nate argues that Victor knew she and Kyle were enemies. This partnership never made sense to him. Her company will be in direct competition with Jebot. Something doesn't add up. Audra says Kyle has proven to be a danger to her in the past. He went behind the back and got her fired from Glissade. She has to be strategic if she wants to pull this off. Nate asks, pull what off? He asks if this is all part of some tactical maneuver. This time I want the whole truth, Audra. Tell me what's really going on. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. In the recent episode of the CBS soap opera, The Young and the Restless aired on May 22, 2025, things got heated in Genoa City when Amanda and Abby clashed at Crimson Lights. What started as a friendly chat turned into a tense argument over Amanda's connection to Aristotle Dumis and his interest in Winters, leaving Abby suspicious and full of questions. Devon soon joined the conversation and pushed Amanda for answers. He wondered if Dumis had hired her because of their past and insisted on a meeting with Dumis, Lily, and himself to clear things up. At GCAC, Lily and Damian spoke about his new job. While he was excited, Lily had second thoughts about their secret plan. Meanwhile, Nate and Audra's breakfast was interrupted when Kyle and Claire arrived. Claire revealed Audra's partnership with Victor Newman, raising even more questions. The Young and the Restless episode began with Amanda and Abby running into each other at Crimson Lights. Their talk started out calm, but quickly turned tense. Abby wondered why Amanda had returned to town and mentioned her link to Aristotle Dumis. She even suggested Amanda might be seeking revenge for her past with Devon. Amanda said she wasn't holding any grudges but admitted Dumis was interested in Winters. When she mentioned he was trying to protect the company, Abby grew more suspicious. Amanda claimed Dumis simply respected the Winters family, but her explanation only raised more questions. The conversation ended in a heated moment, with both women standing their ground. As things got more tense, Devon walked into Crimson and joined the conversation. He didn't trust Dumis either and questioned why Amanda was involved. Devon hinted that Dumis hired her because of their past, not by chance. He pushed Amanda to set up a meeting with Dumis, Lily, and Nate. Amanda stayed professional, but Devon's doubts made the situation more serious. At GCAC on The Young and the Restless, Lily met with Damian to talk about his Winters job offer. Damian was excited and thankful for the deal, but Lily warned him about the risks. She worried that if Dumis found out their real plan, Damian could get hurt. He didn't seem too concerned and was touched by Lily's worry. They also talked about Amanda. Lily asked if Damian had met her, but he hadn't. They wondered if Amanda's history with Devon was affecting things. Lily even told Damian to stop spying on Dumis, fearing he might make a dangerous enemy. At Society on The Young and the Restless, Nate and Audra were having breakfast when Kyle and Claire showed up. The group chatted politely until Claire mentioned that Victor was funding Audra's new company. This surprised Nate and showed how involved Victor really was. Kyle wished Audra luck, which shocked her. She thanked Claire for his change in attitude. But once alone, Claire called Kyle out for pretending, as she believed he was planning to hurt Audra's business. Kyle didn't deny it, and Claire warned him she didn't like lies. If you're watching The Young and the Restless, chances are you already know that Tracy Bregman has played two characters in the show, as Sarah Smythe and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, a character she has played since way back in 1983. In the 4 ensuing decades, Tracy has infused much grit and compassion into Lauren, turning her from a hot-headed, rebellious teenager into a shrewd businesswoman and cherished matriarch of Genoa City. However, what's less well known is that Tracy has also adopted a completely different, darker character on the show, a creepy one that stretched her acting skills to the limit. She played the part of Sarah Smythe, a vengeful and sinister doppelganger with a personal vendetta against Lauren in 2010. Between the two polar opposite characters, Tracy has demonstrated her phenomenal range, tackling storylines of passion, suspense, heartbreak, and even some outright terrifying moments. Let's get into what makes each of these characters so unforgettable. Lauren first emerged on the canvas in 1983 as a spunky, in-your-face teenager who never hesitated to cause a little controversy, and especially when it meant going up against Tracy Abbott. The two could not have been less friends. They were sworn enemies, constantly at war over everything, from popularity to the affections of rocker Danny Romolotti. This conflict early on set the foundation for Lauren's forward and assertive nature. Over the years, Lauren became one of the most dedicated and respected characters of the show. She rose to the top of Fenmore's department stores and teamed up with Jabot Cosmetics, emerging as a force to be reckoned with in Genoa City business circles. But it's her private life, and most specifically, her ongoing battle with the evil Shayla Carter, that truly shaped her into a character. From kidnappings and baby swaps to identity theft and soap rivalry crossovers, Lauren's war with Sheila became daytime TV's most storied feud, spilling over into the bold and the beautiful. Family and love are also a major part of Lauren's life. She wed Michael Baldwin in 2005, and they have a son, Fenmore. Marriage to Michael has seen more than its fair share of drama, Lauren being buried alive, Fenmore's own wild ways, but Lauren's strength and grace have always shone through, making her a fan favorite. Then there's Sarah Smythe, a decidedly darker aspect of Tracy's skill. Brought onto the show in 2010, Sarah was Sheila Carter's sister, tormented by grief and revenge after Sheila's death. Seeking to wreak havoc on Lauren, Sarah went to the extreme. She had plastic surgery to appear virtually like Lauren and kidnapped her, assuming her life in a warped game of identity theft. Sarah's stay on the show was dramatic and frightening. She deceived friends and relatives, manipulated Michael, and came close to ruining Lauren's world from within. Fortunately, Lauren broke free and had an intense and dramatic confrontation with Sarah that resulted in Sarah's death. Although it was short-lived, Sarah's arc was a highlight, demonstrating Tracy's skill at playing two very different people within the same scenes and keeping viewers on their toes. January 2023 saw The Young and the Restless celebrate a gigantic milestone, Tracy's 40th year in the series. It was an emotional tribute to both the actress and the character's amazing journey, from a tough teen to a strong matriarch. It was time for fans to remember how much Lauren and Tracy have contributed to the soap community. Tracy E. Bregman has brought to life two unforgettable women on The Young and the Restless. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, an icon of strength, beauty, and determination, and Sarah Smythe, a chilling reminder of the darker paths soap operas can tread. For the past several weeks, the Aristotle Dumas story arc on The Young and the Restless appeared to be stalling. The notion of an enigmatic billionaire pulling strings from afar was fascinating, but the narrative pace felt uneven, and the suspense never materialized in the same way. There was a lot of buzz around this character from the beginning, but we were left with hints and speculation. We were just left with Dumas's name mentioned and confused, more than intrigued. I shut down any time that the characters circled back to that plotline. Another case of build-up and no payoff, or so I thought. Then suddenly, Amanda Sinclair returned, and everything changed. Now, suddenly, the Dumas story was energized, and I was engaged in a way that I hadn't been for weeks with The Young and the Restless. From the moment Amanda walked into the meeting at Devon's studio with him, Lily, and Nate, and essentially said, "Surprise," the momentum in the room changed. It wasn't just that Devon was startled by her return. Amanda brought Dumas into the room with her presence and her comment. Devon's eventual statement that Amanda could be Dumas himself was a great misdirection, especially because he verbalized it. The fact that Amanda promptly clarified that she was merely a representative of Dumas made it even better. Now that Mogul Dumas had a real voice speaking on his behalf, Amanda gave him some gravitas. Her exchanges throughout town only added to the intrigue. From the uncomfortable moment with Billy and Sally to the unexpectedly candid moments with Phyllis, Amanda was not pulling punches. Amanda's flat-out dismissal of Phyllis' inkling about an investment with her new business brought some grit to her character, while signifying that Dumas is not a benevolent, wealthy savior to that purchased purse to dispense ample checks. One should also remember that Amanda and Phyllis were close once upon a time. This was not simply business, it was both personal and business. Each of these moments added new energy to a story that felt stagnant at worst on The Young and the Restless. While Amanda's arrival has set many things in motion, the most important moment came in Michelle Morgan's interview with TV Watercooler, where she let two significant tidbits slip. First, she suggested that Amanda was headed to a major event with a lot of Genoa City residents. Given the timing, it can only be Nikki's birthday party, which we hear will take place at the end of May. and it's the perfect atmosphere for a big moment. However, it was the second item that set everything into motion. Morgan confirmed that she is filmed with Days of Our Lives alum Billy Flynn. For quite some time, fans have speculated that Flynn will eventually play Aristotle Dumis, and this is almost a confirmation. If this is the case, Flynn will make his grand entrance at Nikki's party and transition this long-regulated storyline into an actual soap moment, a moment worth the wait. In the end, Amanda's return breathed new life into a story and ignited a story, and it gave it purpose and direction. The slow burn that had no heat now feels like it's leading to something big. Even though the Dumis mystery didn't exactly deliver a great start, if you use Amanda's scenes and these clues as indicators, we are on the verge of substantial drama on the young and the restless. Noah returned to Genoa City with a broken heart, but has found happiness. Noah has officially left Genoa City for good. Don't expect him to show up at the next Newman family reunion. The young and the restless alum Rory Gibson is joining the residents of Port Charles. So, where does that leave Noah's storyline? We have a few ideas. The news broke that Rory Gibson is joining the cast of General Hospital. He has been recast as Michael Corinthos. That means Gibson won't be back as Noah on Y&R, however. The character could get recast at some point. Gibson joined I&R in 2021. That's when Noah returned home with a broken heart. He was in London, where he had a serious relationship with an incredible woman. But their relationship came to an end. Noah was lost and confused, unsure of what to do with his life. His father, Nick, tried to get back into the corporate game, but Noah wasn't interested. Long story short, Noah found love with Ali. The two left Genoa City for happier pastures. Here are 3 reasons why Noah's not returning anytime soon. Noah and Ali could be living in engaged or wedded bliss. The last time we saw them, they were in a serious relationship. It's likely that they took their relationship to the next step. It's sad that Noah never returned to share his happy news with his family, if that's the case. But we'd like to think that he found happiness again after heartbreak. Maybe Noah is avoiding his family. This could be the reason he wasn't there for Sharon when she was kidnapped not once but twice and struggled with her mental health. He might also not want to be involved with the non-stop drama in Genoa City, especially when it comes to corporate shakeups. The Newman kid could be living a simple and humble life as a musician. We found out that Noah was once involved with Audra. There's no doubt that she makes men weak in the knees. Audra could also be Noah's Achilles heel. She could be the one he's trying to avoid. That's why he was so quick to leave with Ali. He didn't want to wreck his relationship. At one point, Ali felt insecure about Noah being around Audra. They could have made an off-camera compromise to keep the peace. Amanda holds the cards with Dumis. Amanda returned to Genoa City as a representative of the so mysterious Aristotle Dumis. Nobody was happy when she refused to spill the beans about her client. Phyllis nearly had a full nervous breakdown. Victor mumbled something about how didn't the fool know who he was, but it was Devon and, to a lesser extent, Abby, who threw a temper tantrum announcing they wouldn't play ball unless Dumis exposed himself to them, ASAP. Was the May 22 episode of The Young and the Restless the one where they made their fatal error? Devon was the one who cheated on Amanda with Abby, no less. Yet, somehow, he still sees himself as the injured party, or, at the very least, the one at the center of the action. He strongly suggested that Dumis had hired Amanda not for her skills as a lawyer, but merely because she had a past with Devon and Abby. And then, since that was obviously true, he demanded that Amanda introduce him to Dumis, or else Devon wouldn't do business with the mogul. So there, we've been led to believe that Dumis has a beef with Victor, and that, to put one over on the Genoa City mustache, he is interested in partnering with Billy, as well as with Lily and Devon. But if Dumis really has as many resources as even Victor admits he has, then Billy, Lily, and Devon are some options. But they are not his only options. If Amanda returns from her fishing expedition to tell Dumis that Devon is making all sorts of unreasonable demands, and she doesn't think he's worth working with, odds are good Dumis will move on to the next person on his list. Guess what, Devon? This may not be about you. At all. Phyllis and Aristotle Dumis could mix business with pleasure online, and our Phyllis is the latest person interested in the mysterious Aristotle Dumis on The Young and the Restless. The redhead is eager to get the businessmen to invest in her new venture. However, she could find herself embarking on another journey with Mr. Dumis. Phyllis is feeling lost after getting fired by Billy. Yet, in true Phyllis fashion, she picks herself up and plots her next move. She's already got a new business venture in mind, one that's bound to anger Billy. In order to make her dream a reality, Phyllis needs an investor. So who better than Aristotle? Every executive in Genoa City, including Billy, wants to do business with Mr. Dumis. However, Phyllis might have already beaten her ex-boyfriend to the punch. Phyllis secretly reached out to Aristotle, hoping to discuss her proposition. She'll have to wait until he makes his arrival in Genoa City, which hopefully should be soon. Dumis' identity is still unknown, so he could be a former Y&R character or a newcomer. Whoever he is, Phyllis will have to work hard to convince him to invest in her venture. Not only does Phyllis stand to gain a business partner, but also a romantic partner. Once Aristotle's identity is revealed, the next question is, who will be his love interest? While there are plenty of single ladies, it seems Phyllis might be the one who captures his attention. From what's been said about Dumis, he's a powerful business person who goes after what he wants, just like Phyllis. Aristotle's arrival comes at a time when Phyllis is single. With Aristotle taking a professional and personal interest in Phyllis, she'll find herself swept up in a passionate romance. What if Claire isn't the only miracle child Jordan manipulated? Just when we thought The Young and the Restless had exhausted the chaos surrounding Claire Grace, a wild theory is shaking up Genoa City. What if Claire isn't the only miracle child Jordan manipulated? Buckle up, because fans are whispering about the jaw-dropping possibility of a secret evil twin. Could crazy Aunt Jordan's obsession with revenge have extended beyond Claire? The woman was twisted enough to fake baby deaths, kidnap family members, and psychologically torment Victoria and her very own nephew. So who's to say she didn't have 2 babies under her control? What if Jordan cloned her experiment, raising one as Claire and another as a more ruthless, unhinged backup plan? Imagine this. Claire is finally finding peace, rebuilding bonds with Victoria and Cole, when bam, a mysterious new woman appears in Genoa City. She looks exactly like Claire, but with colder eyes, a sharper edge, and a mission to destroy everything her sister is rebuilding. This evil twin could be everything Jordan wished Claire had become: manipulative, vengeful, and totally lacking remorse. She could start sowing seeds of chaos immediately. She could start posing as Claire to wreck her relationships, frame her for crimes, and drive a wedge between her and her fragile new family. And just think about the drama if the great Victor Newman mistakes the twin for Claire and lets her inside the family fold. The potential for shocking storylines is endless. A deadly showdown in the Newman mansion, a stolen identity twist, maybe even a secret alliance between the twin and another Genoa City villain. It's juicy, unpredictable, and right on brand for a soap that knows how to drop a bombshell. If Claire's got a twin, Genoa City better watch its back. Because one Claire Grace was already complicated enough, 2 could be deadly.